Another edition of Living the Dream podcast. I'm Beto Duran. Thanks for everybody who keeps on rocking with me. Most weeks, most Mondays I have it for you. The last one I did for you was on March 1st when I did the checking in and just like a 20-minute one of what's going on in my life. And so many cool things happening for me right now. I mentioned that we got CBS every Sunday, a lot of stuff going on. But one of the cool things is that I appreciate everybody that's leaving the rate reviews and all that stuff, checking us out on YouTube. And remember, I got the Thursdays, which is the boxing one, live on Thursdays. And also the baseball is back. Let's Go Ricky Rowe. We've added Josh Tolley, who was a catcher with Ricky in Toronto. That's live every Tuesday at 10 o'clock. So if you're a baseball fan, we're not going to break down, who's going to play third or anything like that. It's just cool baseball stories. Last week we had Adam Lynn, who was their teammate, who retired and decided to go learn Spanish in South Florida. So those kind of stories that we have for you. And, by the way, we got a sponsor now. Tío Rodrigo Craft Beer Micheladas coming your way. My boy Mo Duran hooking us up. Tío Rodrigo is coming on as a sponsor. And I normally would give my guest a beer, but I can't. So Tío Rodrigo Michelada Mango Cerveza. And you guys know that if I'm promoting it, it's like legit. Because there's a lot of beers that get sent to me that I don't post because they suck. These are really good. I'm not even a mango guy. I had this with my sister the other day. She's like, that's so good. And look, boom, legit, a Fiesta party pack out of San Luis Obispo. So Tío Rodrigo, check him out on social media. I'm going to start doing some work with them. You're going to start seeing me post a lot about them. They're really, really good. I am not a normal tall can michelada at Dodger Stadium paying $22 guy, but a good one in a can while I'm golfing, I'm all about it, and that's what I am rocking with. So go to Tío Rodrigo, or just hit me up on my Instagram and let me know what's going on. All right, so today's guest, I don't know him. I've never met him. I have no clue who he is, because on social media, he's one persona, but if you Google him, and you guys know that I take a lot of pride in myself as a reporter, that I can find out information about people, this dude doesn't exist. I don't know anything about him. I barely found out his real name today. He's El Tragon De Los Angeles, but his real name is Memo Torres. He writes for LA Taco, which we're going to get into what LA Taco is. We're going to get into what he does. But I've been watching him from afar. I think maybe a year ago I got onto him. I'm like, damn, this guy does a great job covering Los Angeles, not just the food scene, but covering Los Angeles as a cultural scene. And I'm like, that's somebody that gets it. That's the kind of guy that the LA Times should be hiring because he has his pulse on the city. Like, that's who really represents the city. And I hit him up a couple weeks ago, like, hey, you want to come on? First thing he told me was, I don't know anything about sports. I'm like, cool, because I don't talk about sports. I don't care about sports. It's about you. It's called Living the Dream. And bring him on right now. Memo Torres, thanks for coming on. Memo, appreciate it. Did I get it right? El Tragon de Los Angeles?
You got it right, man. That's it.
That's cool, man. All right, so tell people, what is LA Taco, first of all? And second of all, what is your job?
So LA Taco, it's a publication. It's a local publication, very hyper-local, street-level journalism. We cover everything from tacos to news, culture, art, everything that matters in LA. And usually it's a perspective of things that, you don't see on LA Times, or LA Times tries to cover from like a certain gaze, but what LA Taco really specializes in is in kind of giving voices to communities and, finding writers from local neighborhoods to really write about what's going on, whether it be South Central, Koreatown, San Gabriel Valley, Boyle Heights, East LA, the Valley, Pacoima, you name it, down east, southeast LA. I do a lot of different things for LA Taco. I write, I do videos for them. My official title is Director of Partnerships, which means I'm in charge of going around and, networking with different people, whether it be taqueros for our membership program, sponsors so we can get some funding to get our journalism paid for, and anything that kind of helps the membership program that we have. But yeah. And the most important part is I eat a lot of tacos.
So are you like a food writer?
I am. That's pretty much my niche, food writer. Now I have written about other stuff, just because LA Taco is kind of really small. We're DIY, but that's not like my niche is writing about food.
Okay, yeah.
I'll cover other things though.
So when I saw the LA Taco stuff come up, and I'm not being the smartass here. I was like, oh, it's a food blog. That's what I thought it was. And
It was.
was it? That's what it was?
Yeah, it's been around since 2006, and
Okay.
it was a food and like graffiti blog, when it first started off, and then like when LA Weekly got sold and got gutted out, and LA Mag went through their problems. Um, LA Taco relaunched as a publication, bringing in Daniel Hernandez to kind of launch the whole journalism side of it. And so since then, we've been hiring a lot of freelancers and local writers, young writers, to help kind of fill we call it the literary trompo, our website.
Yeah, I was and once again, I'm not being a smartass. I'm just that's not my style. Like the weekly newspapers, the LA Magazine, all that stuff. The only reason I even ever read OC Weekly is because Gustavo was doing Ask a Mexican. Like that's how I got into it, because I was reading that. But like those kind of stories didn't appeal to me, so I never read LA Weekly. Because a lot of it was like punk rock music and stuff like that, or bands or like that. I'm not a music guy. I'm a sports guy, so it wasn't anything that appealed to me. I would read some of the bigger stories if I ever came across it, but it just didn't really appeal to me as a kid from Carson who's only worried about sports and who's just chasing his career. So I was reading Sports Illustrated, ESPN the magazine, or all the other stuff that would be about my profession. So when people are like, you have to read the LA Weekly to stay up to date, I'm like, no, it doesn't appeal to me. So when it like went away, I didn't care because I didn't know about that. And then, like I said, I'm not being a smartass. I'm not being like full of myself. I'm not being like I'm too good for this. But the alt weekly world is definitely that, right? It's alternative and it has a different audience. So when I saw LA Taco come through, I was just like, cool, they're gonna write about tacos. And then about a year ago, maybe that's when it was, I started reading some of the stories that you guys wrote. You, Eric Galindo, were out in the streets covering the unrest that was going on in LA. I'm like, wait a minute, these guys aren't. Like the name threw me off. And then I started realizing, I started following, like, you guys are doing some excellent journalism, boots on the ground, getting after it. And that's when I started telling my friends at the LA Times, like, you guys are getting your ass kicked through some of these stories. Because these guys are doing the work because you guys are worried about the West Side and Santa Monica or Los Feliz or whatever, however you say it. And when these guys are like in the streets of like where it really matters. So kudos to you and your staff for doing what you're doing, because I know you don't have big funding, but my goodness, how do you get into that world and you start battling every single day?
I mean, it's we're fortunate to have like a staff of people. Like it's our team. It really is a team, and everybody's really passionate. And I think that's what it is. It's like we're passionate about LA and telling the stories that we didn't see on LA Weekly. That we don't see. Like you weren't turned on to LA Weekly and OC Weekly and any other publications because they weren't telling the stories that matter to you.
Exactly.
And I think that's the one thing. Yeah, that's the one thing that we do so well at LA Taco. These are the stories that matter to us. And we know there's a whole community of people that these are the stories they want to tell and want told, and it's important. So it's almost like a service that we do for our communities, around LA. So that's what drives us, really. It's a passion project turned, profession for all of us.
You mentioned about doing the stories for the community, but what I really like about what you guys do is you do the story well. It just so happens to be about a Korean person. It just happens to be about a Mexican taquero. It just happens to be a paletero. You don't go over the top, hey, Mexico this, Mexico that, which is one of my biggest complaints about people, where they're patronizing stories. You guys are telling stories about people today, like the story I read today about the paisas, as the story said, the paisas in Lake Arrowhead that are doing all the work out there that Javier Cabral wrote. I'm like, I identify with those people, and I identify with that, and that's what I wanted to bring you on. That way you can tell a story of what it is, the journalism that you're really doing, and how many people work there.
There's a core of about 5 of us. About 5 of us at the core.
Stop it.
Yeah, I mean,
Stop.
The full time is about 3 of us.
Stop.
And we have another person part time, and then we have a whole bunch of just team members that write for us when they can, and they're part of the Trompo. Overall, there's about 18 people involved, and through our Slack, we all communicate through Slack, and which is like that messaging service if people aren't familiar with it.
I don't know.
And we all, are always sharing news tips and, food tips. And we all talk about what the stories are, what's going on in the neighborhoods. And that's kind of, we figure out what we're going to write about. We figure out who's going to write about it, and, we'll look for new writers and stuff to do that because we can't do it all ourselves. So if you look through all the bylines of all the stories on LA Taco, you'll see the most diverse like people on there. Byline after byline is just people of color, just super diverse.
It reflects
you won't see that anywhere else.
It reflects.
It reflects LA.
Every time Eric Galindo writes a story, or Galindo, I know somebody's gonna get mad at me. It's Eric Erick. He's from Downey. He's fancy. What's up, Eric? But every time he writes a story, I always tweet at the LA Times. You guys should have had the story because I just like being that petty troll guy that I can be because I know the people running the accounts. So I'm like, hey, everybody always talks about how do we get the Hispanic viewer? How do we get the Hispanic listener? How the Hispanic reader? Well, stop calling us Hispanic, first of all. And then also understand your story. Have the people who are there. So kudos to you guys for what you're doing. And you just keep on going. Now remember, it's Living the Dream with Memo Torres. Your name, El Tragon De Los Angeles. What the hell is that? And how proud of your parents are being called mi hijos El Tragon?
It's actually a note to my mom, my late mother, who passed away like years ago. But she would always like love to feed me. She always admired how much I love to eat food, and she would always call me El Pinche Tragon. And in retrospect, I probably should have gone with Pinche Tragon, but I try to keep it a little cleaner. So El Tragon, and El Tragon was taken. There was a bunch of Tragones. So I was just like El Tragon de LA or Tragon de Los Angeles.
So it's an homage to your mom.
It is, yeah. Most people don't know that, but yeah.
That's cool.
That's actually the first time I've ever told anybody that, yeah.
Okay, now for those who don't speak don't speak Spanish, what's a Tragon?
A Tragon is basically somebody who's gluttonous. Like you eat a lot, you just stuff your face. You eat like a pig, you love to eat. Like you won't just eat, like you'll fucking eat. Like that is un Tragon,
Yeah, and Tragons come in all sizes. I've seen some skinny Tragones. I have some friends were like that. We're like, how do you not gain weight? But then they're the ones having 8 tacos and then going back and forth. When you decided to come up with the name of El Tragon de Los Angeles, like, were you already in the food scene? Because it's catchy.
I wasn't actually. I was getting it. See, the thing is, I've always been kind of like a foodie. Like before I joined LA Taco, my job would always like entitle me, like required me to drive all over LA, and I fucking hated just driving around all over LA. So the way I amused myself was to always stop by and check out food, check out different spots, different restaurants, different stands, and my friends always knew me for like being the guy that knew a spot. Okay. I'm always the guy that, hey, there's that little backyard spot on the weekends that has carnitas. There's a little backyard spot over here. Hey, over here in the cuts in the alleys, there's like some really great tacos. Let's go check them out. And my friends finally started telling me, like, you should just like do a blog, like set up an Instagram account and do it. And so after they told me, I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And I did it. And then shortly after that, LA Taco happened. And, I got involved with LA Taco.
Wait, so you got a job by being a Tragon on Instagram?
Basically.
It's the
in the simplest terms, but
but the thing is, that's how it happens. And when people ask me, "Oh, how do you do this? How do you do that?" Well, go out there and just do it. Like, don't do the content for the followers. If this really what you like, go after it. Like, I like to eat, but I don't post a bunch about the food. I don't post about this because I'm not the one going to all the different cuts like you guys are. Like, if there's a back alley and there's a taquero there, I'm okay not going there. Like, I'm okay, like, I'm okay having somebody else go and I'll pick it up. I don't need to be that. But you also admit, there was also that scene where, like, everybody all of a sudden became a foodie. They kept calling themselves a foodie a few years ago. I'm a foodie this, I'm a foodie that. Like, no, you're going to eat tacos. That's not making you a foodie. Like, you're not going to French Laundry. You're not a foodie. You're just somebody who's going on Instagram trying to get free food to tell people, like, hey, I'll post it, but give me a free food or let me cut in line, right? There was also that world too.
Yeah, that's all bullshit. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so your background. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up on the west side. I grew up in Inglewood and Culver City.
Okay.
So kind of back and forth. Did a little stint in Canyon Country over there.
Oh, okay.
With spelled it with 3 Ks over there, KKK, Canyon Country.
It's a different world.
it's a completely different world. So I had some interesting experiences from there. But yeah, I'm mostly a West Sider kid.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to UC Berkeley.
You're a Berkeley kid. So what high
Yeah, no
school did
soy
you?
tan pendejo, man.
Hey! What high school did you go to?
I actually went to Loyola High School.
You're a Loyola kid. Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
we're
Aren't
peeling
you a
back
Bosco
the.
kid?
I know my money's at Bosco. I'm a Carson
Oh,
guy.
okay.
But
Okay.
my son's at Bosco. Okay, so see, we're peeling back the layers now here. Memo
Yeah.
Torres isn't just a Tragon who's being all pendejo on social media. No, this guy is smart. Okay, so you grew up on the west side. Oh, you're having a shot? Oh shit! Well, if you're not having a shot.
Oh yeah. I got some mezcal right here.
Oh well,
Yeah.
then let me get some of my whiskey. Let me get some whiskey first of all.
Sorry, man. Yeah, el Memo el Dragón. No, isn't just a pendejo that's out there eating. I am just eating. I do eat a lot of pendejadas every now and then.
All right, cool. So, see, Matt, listen, this story's about you, bro. So, you grew up on the
All
west
right.
side. So, you go to Loyola, and you're part of the 5% brown kids. Loyola, a fantastic all-boys school in, is it, not downtown, I was like, it's off of
Mid
Venice.
City.
Mid-City.
It's Mid City, Pico Union, Venice, and like Normandy.
Yeah, wonderful. I wanted my son to go there, but he chose Bosco. Fantastic. Love all have good friends there. So if you go to Loyola, you're connected well. But it's one of the hardest schools in Southern California, just to even get into, but also academically, the demands. So you went to a school where you're commuting from the west side. What time do you have to get up early to go to school?
Fuck, I don't remember. I think classes started at 8:15. I had to get up like at 6 in the morning.
You take
And then, my mom would take me, my sister's school was in Culver City, and then she dropped me off on Venice Boulevard, and I took the bus all the way to school and back.
Yeah, it's a struggle. It's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
struggle. So you're there, all boys school. You go to Berkeley. How was that culture shock?
Yeah, it's different. It's a little different, definitely. I mean, but it's like you go from like a school that's very, it's got its traditions. It's got its it's like Loyola never changes. It's always got the same culture. And you go to a school that's a completely different culture. It's more free-minded. It's more free-spirited. It's more politically charged. A lot more sociable of a school, I would say, because Loyola's diverse in a way, but it's still an all-boys school, and the diversity, for as much as they like to be diverse, is very limited. But you go to Berkeley. Berkeley's was diverse. When I got there, like it was like I was a Prop 209 kid the first year when numbers dropped. But
Yeah, but
that's a whole other story.
you still got in. You were still there, so you're making the impact. So you go to Berkeley. What did you want to do? What did you want to be?
I don't know, man. I was like the first kid in school, like for my family to go to school. So I honestly didn't know. I went there and I was like, okay, what the fuck do I do here now? So I just started taking classes. I ended up, yeah. I was like, I started taking classes. I didn't know what the fuck to do. I actually got involved with some student organizations. So I was running some student organizations called Raza Recruitment and Retention Center. So we were like helping other, Raza from like communities apply for college and get into college.
Okay.
And so I did that for about 3 years. And yeah, I got sociology, and then I graduated. And when it took a while to graduate because I had a lot of like family problems and stuff. My mom got cancer, so I had to take time off, and so it kind of dragged out a little while. And by the time I got out, I ended up like the economy tanked, and I couldn't find a job. And I was either overqualified because of the work I was doing on the side at Berkeley, or but they didn't have enough work experience. So I was overqualified and unexperienced at the same time, and nobody wanted to hire me. So I ended up like going and working with my pops and kind of getting back and like helping build up his landscape company. So I got into landscaping and then started doing like other little side gigs for a long time.
Hold on. Your mom and dad suffered for you to go to Loyola, which is hard enough. Suffered for you to go to Berkeley. Mijo's great. Yeah. Comes back with a degree from UC Berkeley, and you're back working landscape with your dad?
Yeah, I was working like some corporate jobs, and I was working some other shit, and it just wasn't doing shit for me. I was like, I grew up working landscaping with my dad.
No, I know. And
so
it wasn't, but it was more like, as a parent, you're like, hey, I want you out of here. I don't want you back here. It's like like a Mexican parent works hard. That way the kid doesn't have to do blue collar jobs. That way he doesn't
Oh,
have to be like,
yeah.
right? It's like, I
So
wish I could have gone to school. Look at you. What are you doing back here?
exactly. So yeah, there was a lot of that to deal with, and like, I mean, it was like, you know, like people would shame me, like my family would shame me. Oh, fuiste a Berkeley para regresar a hacer dinero, you
Yep.
know, So it's like a lot of that. So I had to deal with a lot of that bullshit, like my whole life basically. But I was able to build my own company. I was able to build my dad's company and then build my own company. And I still got it on the side, It's on autopilot, and I do that on the side, and that's what pays my bills. LA Tacos, allows me the opportunity to focus my attention on LA Taco and help build that passion project up.
That's awesome. Like, so you built your dad's
Yeah.
business up, and then you're there. But at the same time, you just said it. You had a lot of people coming and chirping at you from the sides, and most of them are usually
hmm
related. Usually, the hating
Yeah.
nasty us. It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Family for sure.
right? It's like, oh, he went to Berkeley, muy creído, and all of a sudden he was a private school, this, and that. Look where he's at now. But my mijo
Yeah.
is doing this. My mijo is doing that. But you were
Yeah.
believing in yourself that eventually you're going to figure it out, right? Like the whole point of
Yeah.
this podcast is called Living the Dream. You're like, I know that the corporate world isn't my dream, which a lot of your friends
hmm
were doing. Like, how many of your friends do you have that are rich and son of a bitch? They hate everything about their life. They hate their wife. They hate every single moment of the day. And then they live vicariously through you. And it's like, oh,
Yep.
but on their Instagram, they're amazing, right? They're right.
hmm
How much is that? So you saw early on that the rat race wasn't for you.
Nah, it wasn't for me, dude. I couldn't fucking sit in a fucking cubicle and deal with the politics of bullshit of wearing a tie every goddamn day. So, I mean, you're the only person Latino I know that wears a tie and fucking makes it look good.
Hey,
You
because
know,
they put.
I.
Hey, hey, that's it. Because hey,
Yeah.
come on. If they're paying me to wear tie and makeup, I got it. Look, I actually just got something right now for my eye puffy reducer. Hell yeah! Oh, I'm a like black gold. I got my little things right here to get rid of the puffiness. So it'll be all
You
right.
gotta look good on TV,
Oh
man.
hell yeah! You gotta Botox it up. Yeah. I got no shame. I got no shame about any of that stuff. But that's what I admire about you, because knowing what LA Taco is now, having talked to Gustavo Arellano, like saying how it's just bootstrapped and you guys are pushing yourself. You mentioned it. You have a real full-time job that pays your bills somewhere else, allowing you to go and chase this passion of being a food writer or being a food, whatever it is you want to do with it. Not many people are going to be supportive of that. Where did you find
Right.
it in yourself to say, forget the outside noise, I'm going to do this?
I think my whole life has been that, like, especially like leaving Berkeley, economic crash 2008, have to figure out what to do. Fuck it, my dad's like, mijo, just fucking vente chingale, which is what I knew growing up,
Yep.
Growing up, I was, a chingale. So fuck it, a chingale. Got a truck, fucking a lawnmower, and I started building up my own little route, started building my dad's business. And he had already kind of like a nice business, but I kind of started building my own thing on the side. And then got big enough to just kind of do my own thing. And, with everybody, shaming me and making fun of me and like that, I learned to just kind of build a big, thick skin and just say, you know what, fuck everybody. I'll just do what I want to do, and I'm going to be happy with it. And now that's what I'm doing, and then I think that's what gives me that thick skin to be able to go on LA Taco and eat tacos all the day and look like a fool. but yeah,
Everybody,
yeah,
everybody defines success differently. Everybody defines
yeah,
happiness differently. You had classmates who, at the age of 24, were on Wall Street working 18-hour days, and hey, I'm making six figures this month, but they have an ulcer at 25. It's
hmm
great for them. You realize that wasn't for you. Yet at the same time, you're building up your landscaping business. Did you ever say, what am I doing right now?
I think all the time though, man, all the time. I mean, you always question yourself. I mean, I don't think there was like a day that went by that I didn't question if I was doing what I was doing right. And I think the way I coped with it is the fact that I did have my freedom though. I had my freedom to basically do what I wanted to do, take the jobs I wanted to take, the clients I wanted to do, eat the food I wanted to do. If I wanted to, like, spend time with my family. And I think the most important part of why I stuck with landscaping was because of that freedom, of me being able to run my own business, and more importantly, being able to like take my kids to school, pick them up from
Yeah.
school, be able to spend time with my kids. And to me, that was ultimately the thing. It was like I got to spend more time with my kids, and I could go to all their plays. I could go to everything they were involved with. And, on the side, I could do what I wanted to do, So it just allowed me a massive amount. Like, I was in control. I felt I was in control of my life even if I didn't have the six figures at a corporate job and had to like, get pulled by the tie anytime any, upper ranks wanted something done. So that allowed me to explore a lot of things, to mess
That's
around with a lot of things.
that's also a lot of people hear that and would be scared to do that. Next thing you know, you wake up and you're 35 and you have a bunch of responsibilities. And it's like, what have I actually done with my life? It seems like you don't have any regret about any of that. Same with me. Like, we don't have that safety net of, well, it's okay if I fail because we're going to have this. It's, no, fool, if you fail, you fucked up. Like, you really don't. Like, I'm 42 and I look around like, okay, what have I accomplished? On paper looks great, but if I go and put it up against other people, does it really matter? Because I still got my hair. Yeah. I got 2.5 chins. I'm okay. Like, I'm all right with that. Like, but for you looking at it and I think you and I kind of, like I said, we've never met. We've never actually talked before, but we have the same attitude of, I'm just going to figure it out because I'm going to work my ass off no matter what. Like, there's no way that you can half-ass anything you do. You mentioned you have that landscape building and business, and you also have another business. And then you're doing this. So you're juggling a lot of different things. Where does that attitude come from of, well, let's just go all in?
I mean, it's just like what else am I going to do with my time, man? Like, well, seriously, like, what am I going to do? Be a fucking lazy ass and just get fat off of, like, eating donuts at home? No, I'll get fat eating tacos and writing about them. That's a lot better. Like that's more exciting. Like, it's fun. And, like, I think, going back to my mom and, like, the reason I call myself a dragon, my mom was like one of those people that she was like a housewife. She was very loyal to my dad, helped him a lot with work, but she never had a job. She never really got to live her dream. And when I was in college, like, she always kind of lived vicariously through me. She'd always be like, my dad was super conservative. So was my mom, like, no drugs, no nothing, no cholos, no pandillas, be a straight A student, be ideal. But she would always be like, so, mijo, have you smoked weed yet? What's that like? Like, have you gone to college parties? Because she wanted that life, but she didn't get to have it. So she wanted. Yeah, so she would always, like, confide in me, just close the door, Miko, when I would come home and visit. But when she passed away, I remember before she passed away, she would always talk to me about, like, Mijo, like, life's, like, short. You don't know when some shit's gonna fuck you up. Just enjoy it. Live your life. Do what you want to do. Don't ever, like, let it go to waste. And fuck what anybody says. If you want to try something, fucking do it. Just do it.
Awesome.
And that's kind of what that's how I got involved with LA Taco. I mean, LA Taco, I'm working with people that are super talented. People that study journalism. People that have studied editing, have worked at Spectrum, like Galindo. Javier Cabral, who's super fucking accomplished. He's written cookbooks. He did the Taco Chronicles on Netflix, and a bunch of other up-and-coming writers that are just phenomenal and super talented. And here I am, a fucking guy who just loves to eat tacos, like, all up in the mix. Like, I have no business being there, in my opinion, with all these great folks. But the only difference between me and anybody else who would not step into that situation like me is that I have a drive. I see what LA Taco is and its potential and why LA needs it. And so I'm dedicating all my experiences, all my knowledge, my whole drive into LA Taco because I think it's important for the city. You know what I mean? So I don't know, that's all.
No, that's all, man. It's only half an hour in, man, bro. Salud. Cheers. Salud.
Cheers.
Salud. Right,
salud, man.
I'm actually having some bourbon that Slow Brewing sent to me. Rod and Hammers, a slow bourbon.
Nice.
So I'm going to sip that. My boy Mo hooked it up again. 90 proof. So I'm having that. I didn't know we were doing mezcal today. I actually had cafecito ready to go. But, I mean, if you want to go bourbon, I mean, I ain't going nowhere. All I got to do after this is edit. So, I mean, it's not that big of a problem, man. You're on fire right now. So you have no journalism training at all? You didn't take any journalism classes at Berkeley or anything like that?
No, man. I mean, like, here's the thing about me.
You're such a good writer. I'm jealous.
I did. I mean, through high school and through Berkeley, I did have to write about 500 essays just to get through all that.
True, but it's a different kind of writing. Yeah.
Yeah.
A college paper, you're writing 20 pages. That's the reason I love journalism, because the first paragraph is only 30 words. The lead, 30 words and the 5 W's, and you're good. So that's why I liked it, because it was cheating. But you're such a good writer. So you taught yourself how to be a writer.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything in life I've taught myself. You know, I've been good at that. I think that's, if anybody to ask me what my talent is, it's that I can teach myself things. And luck of the draw is that my whole life I've always been like, I think I've had like 24 different jobs. I've worked in music production. I've worked in the studio. I worked as a camisero, as a taquero, a nursery, gardening. I've worked in corporate jobs, nonprofits. I mean, I have, my resume is ridiculous if I were to list them all out. So I think the combination of all those experiences is what I bring to LA Taco. So that's why I can edit videos. I can, you know, I've done photography. I can do video, writing, networking, business. So I think I bring all that to the table.
I thought I was Mr. 1099. No. You are the. I don't even want to see your taxes right now. Like it's a mess the way you got it going on. But that's one of the beauties. That's what, when I speak to journalism classes, I always tell them, don't major in journalism. High school kids, I tell them, major in business, major in marketing, be diverse with it. Now, if you want to get into this business, work at the school paper, work at the student TV station, whatever it is. The hands-on experience is going to be more vital than the actual classroom experience, the internship part of it. Now, if obviously you want to take the intro class that teaches you how to set up a proper format, all that other stuff, but the other stuff you could teach yourself just like you did. And the ability to be diverse is what lacks in newsrooms. It's what lacks in corporate America, because people are so trained that they hyper-focus on one subject that they don't know what to do. Like at the LA Times, Tuckney Wynn was a mathematics major. She does a great job writing sports because she can bring the mathematics world into the analytics world and explain it in English. You know, being able to have a diverse background in that, in what LA Taco does with the reporters that you guys have, where you have the ability to tell a story about paisas in Lake Arrowhead, about why Sinaloa and snow don't mix, you know, or knowing how in Downey there's 3 different, it might be one zip code, but it's 3 different income brackets in the city of Downey. It's not the Mexican Beverly Hills, because it's not all that way there. But back to you though, you taught yourself how to do things, you know what you're doing, you know what you want to do, and it's the drive that impresses me, and that's why it's called living the dream. When people ask you, what do you do? What do you tell them?
It's always that question, man. I tell them I do a little bit of everything. You know, and going back to, like, I just want to take a step back. I also want to just give a shout out to Javier Cabral, because he's taken me under his wing. I mean, he's this kid.
Wait, first of all, is he watching? If he ain't watching, no shout outs. Because if he's not watching, if he's not listening, I'm gonna edit this out. But go ahead, say it.
I can't tell if it's somebody.
No, I'm messing with you. No, Javier he does an excellent job.
Yeah, kudos to him, because that fool like literally like motivated me to write. He motivated to write. He's like, hey fool, like you should just like learn to write, and he taught me how to write. You know, he guided me, pushed me, and he's so good at doing that with so many young voices around LA. Like he'll take pictures from like journalism kids, and then he'll see somebody like that is covering something on the streets, and it'll be like, hey, why don't you write about this? And he'll take the time to go through their write-ups, and it's like a messy first draft, and clean it up and help them get that voice out and, you know, say what they got to say. So, I mean, Javier Cabral does a lot for LA Talk on a lot of these writers, and he's done a lot for me. I mean, and I think that's, you know, most people have to be able to take that. Like, I mean, this kid is 7 years younger than me, and he's teaching me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm humble enough to let him, like, to consider him a mentor in that sense. You know what I mean? It's not always the age; it's the experience that you gotta take into consideration. But going back to
Oh no, go ahead. No, finish. Going back.
Yeah, when people ask me what do I do with LA Taco, I tell them the same thing I did when we opened up. Just hit rewind, dude. Like I eat tacos, I write, I do video, I network, I do sponsorships, I build partnerships. Yeah.
But all right, now when a kid asks you, "Hey, what do you do? What's your job?"
Me? I eat tacos and write about it, I guess.
See, all right, we got to work on this, man. You got to have a good pitch. You got to have a good pitch. You got to sell yourself here. See, marketing marketing might not be your strong point right now. We got to sell yourself, bro. You can sell. See, you can sell everybody else. So, this is my friend Memo, El Tragon De Los Angeles. Pretend we're talking to a white guy right now. Oh,
Okay.
what do you do? Oh, I am
I am a multimedia journalist with a publication called LA Taco. We cover Los Angeles, and we're hyperlocal news coverage. Cover everything from food, news, culture, and art, from the street level and communities that matter in LA.
All right, I'm a venture capitalist. I'll give you money. All right, now if you're talking to one of your cousins who hasn't seen you in a while, hey fool, what have you been up to? What do you do?
I'm the fucking taco king, fool. What are you talking about now?
There it is. That's what I want to hear from now. No, none of this fake humbleness out here. No. I don't believe in that fake humble. No, because you work hard at what you do and you own it and you know what's going on. Because the other day I even asked you, I'm like, hey, food in Santa Monica, where do you recommend? You're like, blah, blah, blah. I went here. The Oaxacan place in Santa Monica. It was good. The place you sent me to was closed, and I actually knocked on the door, and they're like, we're closed. I'm like, El Tragon sent me. They're like, yeah, we're not going to be closed next week. I'm like, nah, I ain't coming back next week. I don't go to the west side, so we're just going. All right, so now you figure this out. You would go eat a bunch of tacos. There it is. You get hired out. And then what do you do? Like, you find new places, or like how does this work if for the person who wants to be the next Tragon, where like, oh, my friend has a taco spot. Or like, what do you do? How do you find these places?
I think the one thing about LA is that like 80% of it's already on Instagram. So people are always posting things on Instagram, and I'm pretty good about following a lot of different hashtags on Instagram. Like all the different, I follow tacos, I follow all this stuff. And I don't know, because I drive around a lot, I'm always out there, like I'm always kind of like peeping, like, where's the new spot over here? Where's something over here? And I got a network of people and friends now that like will always tell me, like, hey Memo, I know you like this kind of food. There's this dude whose mom's doing barbacoa in the projects. Come on, let's go check it out. I'm like, fuck it, let's go. I'm down, So I always got to be down to go try out some food, man. Always. So, and I think now with LA Taco, now that like it's kind of given me, like I guess my name's out there now.
Yeah.
People now hit me up, so it's been a lot easier now, and it's in a way it's a little hard because now I get a lot of people hitting me up to go try their food, and I always feel bad because I can't go. So. But yeah, now I just have a running list of places that I promised I was going to go try out, and I just got to make it out there.
Okay, so I'm not going to be that guy and be like, oh, what are the best tacos in LA? Like, stop it.
Thank you.
It's like, no, because first of all, no taco is the same. Second of all,
right.
It depends on what you want. Third, look, nobody's going to be driving from Anaheim to Culver City for a taco. I'm sorry, you're not doing that. Like, if you're doing that,
right.
You're doing that because you're trying to be like Instagram cool, and it's not the point. Like I want, like, for example, Teddy's Red Tacos. Everybody posted about it in the beginning. I'm like, I am not waiting an hour for tacos. They might be good, but El Taquero down the street just as good as gonna hit the spot. I'm saying that kind of stuff. Like, I'm not gonna be driving. I live in Carson. I'm not driving to the valley for menudo. Like, I'm gonna find something in Paramount. Like, that for me is because I'm a real LA guy. I don't want to stay in traffic driving all over the place. I drive enough as it is with the kids. Now, when you go and you're looking for something, you said you find the hashtag. So for people who want to find their own tacos, how do they go about it? Besides going to LA Taco or your Instagram, you say you follow the hashtag tacos.
Well, I've followed like a bunch of hashtags like tacos, enchiladas, LA, Boyle Heights, like all the cities. I follow a lot of different hashtags, and like I'll always see things pop up on there. But that's not the only way. I follow a bunch of foodies too, and I've become friends with a lot of foodies. So I'll kind of scope out and see where they're going and see what they're trying out. And sometimes I'll go eat with them, and they'll invite me out. So I go out with a bunch of foodies. Which, by the way, I hate the term foodie, and I can't believe I'm a foodie now. I fucking swore I was never going to become one, but anyways.
You're not. You're a pinche tragon. You're not a foodie.
I'm a pinche tragon.
It's just so pretentious.
But think that, I mean, if you want to follow, I mean, follow me and follow LA Taco, and see what's up. There's a lot of foodies out there that aren't legit. They'll just hype up any spot that looks cool and it's got a good cheese pulls.
Okay. All right. That's
So
what I'm going to do. Okay.
all right.
Me just being the cynical guy that I am, watching from a distance, knowing how Instagram works, it's like, wait a minute. Are you really liking this, or are you posting the picture just to post a picture? How much of that goes on in the food world?
Oh, a lot. I mean, I think foodies are very driven, and like for a lot of them, they're trying to make a business out of it, and a lot of them have successfully made a business out of it. And the way they make money is not necessarily by. Some will charge for posts and charge for videos.
Stop.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah, and then others will basically become social media managers for a lot of accounts. So they'll manage a lot of restaurant social media. Now their prices are all over the place. Some are reasonable, some are like not reasonable. But it just depends, Like some of these people get legit exposure, and some of them don't. You know what I mean?
So there's
and I've gotten
there's people who go and say, hey, to like the doña who's making tortillas or whatever she's doing, hey, I'll do this for you. Pay me $50 and I'll post you on my Instagram.
Yeah, there's less of that now. I think there was a year of reckoning for it. Yeah. So there was a lot of people that do that, and none of the foodies that I follow do that.
Okay.
I don't follow those foodies but yeah, there was a lot of those, that would just be like, oh, I'm an Instagrammer. I have, 100,000 followers, Can I get a free taco and I'll post it on my account and you'll get business? There was a lot of shit like that, which is bullshit. Okay. You know what I mean? But there's also foodies have been able to like make money off of this by like, they'll get, different businesses will be like, hey, can you come out and try my food? And they'll be like, it's kind of a drive. They're like, look, we'll give you like $100, and I'll be like, all right, fuck it, I'll do it. I'll go and I'll make you a video and I'll do that, and then that's a business transaction. But that's something that they agreed upon, that the vendor wants, not them hitting them up like, hey, I'm a foodie for $200, I'll expose you, stuff like that. So,
but
there's a little bit of a dance there.
Because if you don't really like the food, but you're still posting that you're there, and you're getting paid for it, see, escándalo. That's why I don't follow all these foodies. I only follow you.
They're marketing, They're a lot of these foodies are like marketing now. It's like Instagram marketers. So I guess
that's why I don't follow any influencers. Once again, I'm being the cynical guy in my 40s. I don't follow any influencers, anybody who does all that stuff. Mind you, I get stuff sent to me, and I'll post it, but it's because I really do like it. Like some of the beers I get sent.
Yeah, like one thing I'll never do is I'll never trash a place. If I don't like it, I just won't post it. I won't.
There it is. See,
you know what I mean?
That journalistic integrity, kind of. But so there is that world of like the dirty dudes just out there doing that. That sucks.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of foodies that are legit though, man. So not to paint all foodies bad. Like there's foodies that are legit, just do this shit because they love this shit and they like to go out there and go eat places. There's other foodies that like, are trying to help out the community and are trying to be involved with it, So there's plenty of those foodies out there too. I mean, like they're all over the place, just like people. There's people with all kinds of different intentions.
Yeah, I do see the people who are out there making. Usually, it's because you post about them or LA Taco will write about. Like, because you guys did a video about taquitos, right? You guys did that today.
Yeah. I did a teaser video for them, but we have a video coming out tomorrow about their taquitos. Yeah, so that's through our sponsor.
Okay, another free commercial here. LA Taco sponsor. I've seen your stickers at food trucks. I saw it at Asadero Chicali, and I saw it at Mariscos Jalisco. So I've seen the sticker. I just don't know what that means.
It says members welcome. So our whole journalism, like 90% of our revenue goes to writing all the stories, to paying all the photographers, all the writers, our editor, maintaining the website. 90% of all revenue goes towards that. And most of that money comes from our members. So LA Times, for example, has a subscription and they have a paywall. You can't read their articles unless you pay. We don't have a paywall.
You use duransports@gmail.com. My password is...
So what we have is we have a membership program. So, if people join to pay, they pay to join, all that money is going to support our journalism, and in return, one of my jobs as director of partnerships is to help hook them up with perks at different restaurants. So we give out free tacos, and all these places like Mariscos Jalisco that you mentioned, Teddy's Red Tacos, and I mean, there's about 50 or 60 partners right now with about 80 different locations. You can go around the city and show their LA Taco membership card, and they'll hook you up with like a free taco, free drink, a discount, Yeah, you go to a Russo, you'll fucking give you like a 20% discount on your whole meal.
Russo's so good. Oh man.
Yeah, it's fucking bomb.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they all do it because they support us. They support us, and they appreciate that we are kind of the voice of all the taqueros, and that we always back them up too.
So if you join LA Taco, if you make a donation, you'll get that card. All right, I'll do that once we're done with it. LATaco.com?
Yeah, LATaco.com/join, and it's a monthly membership, so it's as low as like $10 a month.
Okay, I'll do that.
And yeah, there's $20 a month too.
Easy, $20.
Come on, yeah.
Hey,
but wait, there's more.
Oh, but wait, there's more? Okay, what you got?
I'm kidding.
Sell it. No, for real, sell it.
Well, look, if you one of the things, once events are coming back, you get VIP to events. I also hook up free member tastings. If you see these places we write about, I'll usually talk to them and be like, look, we have our little members. We'll get like, can we bring 30 of our people to try your food? And they'll be like, hell yeah, fuck yeah. So, you get to try their food out. We'll give them videos, we'll give them a shout out, and we have this long-term partnership with them.
Oh, okay.
So, and I always try to hook all our partners. I also try to hook them up with like all our events that we're doing and stuff, and opportunities that come across.
Okay, that's cool. As events open up, I recommend you guys go and do that, because I don't want you going with the Chafa Instagram foodies. Go with the real deal, LA Taco. All right, here we go. Ruben Blanco, my dude right here. What should a taco cost, in your opinion?
All right. A taco, first of all, I'm not the type of guy that's going to be like, a taco should be $1. Fuck that. A taco is a beautiful thing. All right? It is a fucking national treasure. If you're going to come at me with like, I ain't paying more for $1 or a taco, then go to fucking Taco Bell. All right? Hey. Fuck that noise. All right? Respect our people. Respect the tortilla. Respect the struggle. And fucking pay at least $2. Come on, I mean, it depends too. All right, it depends. If you have like a street taco, that Gustavo hates that term street taco, but we got to use it now because you know what I mean. If it's just a regular taquero on the corner with like a puestecito, and he's got like little styrofoam plates and all that stuff, he doesn't have that much investment. You would expect the taco to be about $1.50, $2, right? I mean, I think the day of the dollar taco is gone.
Yes,
I think that's gone. But if you're going to somebody who's like doing like a fucking short rib taco, or is doing like a brisket taco, or doing something like mole poblano tacos, or something a little bit more like nicer, and actually putting like time and effort to create something beautiful on a taco, then yeah, you should fucking pay more, like $5. Like don't be fucking cheap. Okay. Like if you know what I mean, pay people what they're worth. Like just because they're making a taco, don't cheapen it. I think Wes Avila from Guerrilla Tacos is the one who experiences that the most. If you go to a restaurant and you order a fucking scallop and they'll charge you fucking $60 for that scallop, you won't fucking bat an eye. But if you put it on a tortilla, why is that shit $5? You know what I mean? You can go get fucking filet mignon and pay fucking $40 for like a filet mignon, and it's fucking like this fucking big. But the moment a taquero chops that shit up and put it on the tortilla, why is that shit $5? You're like, no, like pay the taco it's worth, And especially if you're going to a restaurant and they're paying overhead and they got the insurances and the health permits and all that stuff, pay a little more. All right, support the business. Don't be fucking cheap. So yeah.
But you didn't answer the question.
I did.
So how much should it cost? Okay, what's the price range for tacos?
It should be, in my opinion, minimum $1.50 to $2, and I think they can go up to. I mean, I just had a Kobe, a A5 Kobe.
Okay, easy there. I had a Kobe beef. If it's Kobe, it's a different story. I'm talking about.
Yeah, now you're up there.
Okay, if you're first of all, by the way, congratulations.
You can put it in tortillas.
All right, congratulations on having some Kobe. We're gonna go hang out.
That's one of my next stories, by the way, so stay tuned for that.
Okay, well, give me some scallops on a tortilla, it will be all right. But here, all right, all right, here it is. It's 2 a.m, I'm fucking loaded, I'm in East LA, and I just want pastor. How much should the tacos be?
Like about $2, $2.50.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Now, I'm on the west side. It's an afternoon on a Saturday at a fancy pop-up, and I'm having poblano with a purple tortilla.
A purple tortilla.
Remember, I'm on the west side. I'm on the west side. I'm in the Palisades.
It should be. Hold on, somebody's calling me right
Oh,
now.
answer it.
I mean,
somebody's getting mad at you right now for what you just said.
It should be. I mean, I don't know. Like, it should be no less than $5. Maybe $7.50.
Okay.
You know, $5 to $7.50. Yeah.
I have no, look, once again, we will. First of all, you Mexicans, and I'm saying you Mexicans because I'm looking at my friends that are watching right now. You know exactly who I'm talking about. You guys go to Dodger Stadium, left field, and you pay $22 for a michelada, and you don't even complain about it, and you're drinking Estrella Jalisco. So don't even start complaining about, oh, the tacos cost this or tacos cost that. It's like legit when the people are like, say, Guerrilla Tacos or the one I just started following because of Evil Cooks.
Machine, Evil Cooks, yeah.
They do artwork with a lot of this food because the spices, the flavors.
It fucking tastes amazing.
Yes, yeah. It is. It's so I have no problem paying for that. So don't be a cheap ass. Now, if it's 2 a.m. and you're somewhere and you're at QC's 2020, throw back there. You're fine. You're gonna get what you get. But don't complain when
si nada más quieres tragar, then go fucking get like $1.50, $2 tacos. Fuck it, get 20 of them and stuff your face, right? But if you want to enjoy a taco, you want to experience a taco, like what it can be, its potential, and it's all its beauty and its artistic form that, you know, like don't limit the fucking taco. That's what I always tell people. Don't limit the tortilla to what it could be. All right?
Oh, man, we got to...
Pay a little more. Pay a little more.
Don't Sanco those, right? You got me speaking Spanish. I'm over here drinking... bourbon, or is that what I'm doing? It's a Monday out of the planet. All right, here it is. How do you feel about bone marrow tacos? What the hell is that?
Tetuano? Yeah. There's like Pepe's Red Tacos in Boyle Heights that does that. They make birria, and then they'll cook the bone marrow with the birria, and then they'll scoop it out and put it on the thing. I'm not a big fan of Tetuano. I eat it. I've enjoyed it. I know people that love it. I know, like, a lot of people fucking love it. But it's good. I mean, I don't eat it on its own. I think it goes great, like, if you put it on some other meat, you know. But, yeah, I got no problem with it.
Okay. What are some of the things that shouldn't be done? Because there's some people getting way a little too fancy here.
Something that shouldn't be done? Okay, first of all, if you're going to make a taco, make sure it has a tortilla on it or some form of a tortilla. You know, like it can be flour, it can be corn. Hold on. Stop. See, you foodies get a little too fired up here. If it doesn't have a tortilla, it's not a taco. Exactly. That's my point.
So who would do something like that?
There's a guy that I called out on an article one time because I had it. I was done with all these fucking wannabe foodie chefs on fucking Instagram on Taco Tuesday, taking a fucking Parmesan sandwich, smashing that shit, folding it, and be like, it's a Taco Tuesday. I'm like, where the fuck is the tortilla? Where they take a Big Mac, smash the bun, right, and chop up the meat inside and then put it on the bun. It's a Big Mac taco. Like, that's not a fucking taco. You're okay. Like, where's the tortilla? Okay, so those are things that for me are like big no-no. That's the biggest one. Other than that, like, I mean, I personally don't like lettuce on soft tacos. You know, a regular tortilla taco with lettuce. I personally don't like that. You can put it on a hard shell taco. That's fine, or cabbage. But yeah, I think lettuce on a regular tortilla, soft tortilla taco, and folding anything and calling it a fucking taco is crossing the line for me.
Okay. All right. See. Now you're going after these people here. Why are you attacking how do I say it? Once again, I'm just a basic sports guy here, non-food guy. Is there like cultural appropriation going on in the taco world too?
You know,
you like that term, huh? You didn't think I knew it.
You know, it's there is cultural appropriation for sure. Okay, I'll give you an example of cultural appropriation, and talking about like how much should you pay for a taco. This isn't a taco, but Vespertine, if you haven't heard about it, it's this restaurant in Culver City that charges $250 just to make the reservation. That doesn't include food.
What's
just for the reservation. Vespertine.
Okay.
Okay. It's considered one of the best restaurants all over in the world. You know, it's one of those like, you know, if you watch a movie and like, you know,
Oh
you see Illuminati
God,
Society,
really?
like they're eating at these kind of places. Yeah.
Oh, sal de
So
gusano. Oh my God, this looks
so
so
this
pretentious.
so this guy recently decided to make a Oaxaca menu and is making like a Oaxaca mole. Which first of all, he showed like a plate with like the ingredients that he's gonna make his Oaxaca menu with, and some of those ingredients aren't even like Oaxaca, like
It's right there.
pepitas, you know, like pipián. Yeah, there you go. That's the one. So this motherfucker is taking like a Oaxacan dish, not doing it right, and he's gonna fucking be charging like $100 a person for that dish,
How much?
right? $100 a person
Stop
for
it.
like a mole, right? That is cultural appropriation because why can't the Oaxaqueños do it and charge $100 for their plates? Because nobody will fucking pay them. And because it's not their traditional, but this fucking dude over here is gonna do it, and he's gonna get fucking paid like bank. And he's fucking got cacahuates on that shit, like you know, like so. That's an incident of cultural appropriation. But at the same time, I also feel like don't limit the taco. You know, if somebody's gonna take the taco and then charge $200 for a fucking carne asada taco, like okay, that's a whole other deal. But you know, I'd love to see Mexican culture influence the world. You know, I know people like are very hesitant about that shit. You know, like oh, why are they taking our culture? But I'd love to see Mexican culture influence the world, our tacos influence the world, and people to grow to love it and grow to love us. You know, in transition. I think Gustavo Arellano is even a proponent of that. You know, but and it's a touchy subject. But to me, I'm always like, don't limit the taco. Don't limit the
Exactly.
taco.
Exactly. I had I don't know where I was at, but because I try to eat healthy-ish, right? And I'm also like with Gustavo, it's if it tastes good, why not? Like that's my deal. If it tastes good,
Right.
why not? But yeah, you're right. There should have some rules. But I had a jicama one where the jicama was the tortilla. I forgot
Yeah.
where I had it. I forgot where I had it, and I posted on my
Balam
Instagram
maybe.
in
Balam
Linwood.
and Linwood. Yeah.
In Linwood, yeah. That there you go, Balam, right
The,
there, right there in the
the
hood.
tropical the tropical tea taco. It was
Yes,
saturated in like it was a beet Jamaica juice.
yes,
So it was red, and they put a coconut shrimp on it.
yes. So good. Yes, coconut
I knew
shrimp.
exactly. See, how well I
Yeah,
know my tacos. I knew exactly what you're talking
but
about.
like I went and I was like, dude, because I had it. I'm like, and it's right next to the sheriff station, right off the 105, across from the hood,
Mm-hmm.
hood.
Yep.
You know, right there by Training Day, not too far from there. And I posted and people were like, that's not a fucking taco. I'm like, yo, like it tastes good to me. Like forget you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that was my first experience with those foodie people. Like, whoa, like you're being judgmental about what I like. First of all, I paid for it. Second of all, it tastes good to
Right.
me. And third of all, I went back for more because it tasted good. Like I've gone back, and it was like that's when my first introduction. I'm like, I didn't know that food world could be so vicious. I'm like, first of all, a taco should unite everybody. Like,
Yeah.
what are we mad about? You're having a taco. It rolls it out. Why? Apláquense.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Stop being cheap and let people enjoy tacos.
Stop being cheap. You know what? You're all right, man. I can't wait to get salute. I can't wait to actually
Salud,
meet you
man.
one day. Because the day we meet, we're gonna get loaded.
See if you can hang, man. I'm a big boy.
No. I'm not trying to hang with you. I'm just saying I'm gonna get loaded. No, no. First, that's another shot for shot. None of that. No. First of all, you're a Tragon. You should be a big boy. But it's more like let's get drunk, have a good time, tell some stories, and like talk bad about people who or take themselves too damn serious. All right. As we wrap up here, because it's a Monday, that's a good time, man. We're gonna have to do this again. More people will be involved with you, all that other good stuff. If somebody wants to get into the foodie influencer world, how do you do it the right way?
I don't know. I don't know if I can.
Okay,
answer that
okay.
question. But,
What are some of the things that you shouldn't do?
one of the things, okay, you don't fucking go and like be like, I'm a fucking foodie. I will post this shit and like, if you give me a free taco on food, don't fucking do that shit. Don't ask for donations if you want to make a video. Don't fucking, like just go and enjoy the food. In my opinion, don't tell anybody that what you're doing is you're a foodie, and then you have this account. I mean, I personally don't like doing that, and now it's getting harder to do that because people recognize me. But I still like to just go and enjoy and eat the food, and if I like it, I'll post about it and I'll give them a shout out.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it, in my opinion, do it because one, you wanna tell your friends about it, you know, and by association, everybody else is gonna follow you. And two, do it because you want to support the business, and it's a good business. So yeah, I mean, just run off of those two basic things. One is you want to tell people where the good food's at, and two, and I would recommend, we need a lot more like Latinas, I think, and maybe a few more Latinos to be foodies. That I don't think we have enough Latinas and Latinos to be foodies. And if you are, hit me up. I want to know. I want to be friends with you, because I think we need more of those people, out there promoting, our food out there.
Now, that's one thing to do. Post on Instagram. Everybody can do that. It's like, oh, I have Instagram, I have YouTube. Okay, great. If they want to be a food writer, isn't there more of an avenue if you know how to write than just being creative?
Like to be a writer?
Yeah, like if you want to be a food writer about this.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not easy. I know I didn't come from a journalism side, but it's not easy. I mean, there's only so many words you can use to describe food, the way it tastes. Like you have to be very good at being able to tell, like what this tastes like, show people, give them an image of what that is. And, you have to be able to figure out a good angle. What's the story, just because it's a taco and it's this lady selling it doesn't mean that's a good story. Like, what's the story behind this taco? Like, what's interesting about it?
Mm-hmm.
I think, like, for me personally, like, I may not have written my whole life, but I did read a lot. I read a lot of, I haven't read a lot of books, just because I don't have time to sit down and go through books, but I've always read articles. I've always been fascinated with reading different articles. So I would say study up on different food writers, study up on Jonathan Gold, anybody else that's written articles about places, study that format. And if you have a place you want to pitch, you want to write about, and you think there's a story there, pitch LA Taco. Send an editor at lataco.com, send them a pitch.
And if you want to get into it, go for it. You listen to this. It's everybody says, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, but they don't ever go after it. Memo Torres decided to go after it on his own. He's doing it. El Tragon De Los Angeles. He has the food blog. He has the LA Taco. He has this. He has that. He's a businessman. But most importantly, how about this one? See, I came prepared for you.
Hey!
Yeah. I got my Loyola Cubs out there. And I just found out that we have mutual friends. So I'll talk to you later about that because in this world, but the show. Oh, yeah. Well, because I know fancy Mexicans and they went to Loyola. So now I know there's nothing much about you on a Wikipedia or anything like that because you're just one of those humble young kids. But no. We got you, man. We got you. So El Tragon. Right. And let me, as we wrap up, you said your mom was a big fan of yours. She always pushed you to go and do whatever you want, chase after it. Mijo, live your dream. If your mom knew that you were getting paid to write about food, back when she called you El Pinche Tragon, how proud of you would she be?
Dude, she'd probably be more mad I'm not taking her. She'd straight up be like, Mijo, llévame estos lugares, like, hey, the chef asking for that recipe. I want to learn how to make this at home, like, yeah, she'd be super proud. Yeah, for sure.
I have a feeling that would be a TV show. You and your mom going around eating the tacos, figuring it out, and in only the Mexican mom way of like, Pues, trabajaron duro.
Yo lo hago mejor.
Memo, this is good. If people want to reach out to you and they get inspired by this, or if they would look for any kind of advice, or if you're a 19-year-old who's stuck in college right now trying to figure out what the hell to do with your life, I know Memo is somebody who you can reach out to. He didn't even say so, but I just had that feeling that he's there to help you out. Best way to reach you is what?
You can, you can reach me through my DMs always on Instagram. I'm also on Twitter, or you can email me, man. My emails get super packed though, so if I don't respond to your email, I'm sorry. But it's memo at lataco.com.
Oh my God! If you now, there's plenty of avenues for you. I DM'd him and he got him on the podcast. So if you can't figure out how to get to this guy, dude, just Go.
I'm out there, man. Yeah.
If you can't figure out, then you're not going to be made for this anyways. So, Memo, appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon. Last thing.
Yeah.
It's called living the dream. Best advice you have for somebody.
Always, just doesn't matter what you're fucking doing. Like I've had I've been in some terrible situations in my life. But no matter where you find yourself, if you're in a rut or in a hole, always remember to make time for yourself, to chill, to relax, and do something that you want to do. Whether it be go eat tacos, go spend some time with your family, or even just fucking watch something on Netflix. Don't ever beat yourself up over where you're at. Don't ever feel ashamed about what you're doing. Always remember that 10 years down the road, what you might have felt ashamed for then, you'll be proud of later on. So always stick through it and get through the mud, guys.
Damn, that's well done, man. Well done. Memo, it was nice finally talking to you. Thanks for coming on the podcast. Can't wait to do this in person next time, as we will get taco wasted. You'll get loaded. I'm not going to try to keep up, but it'll be fun, man. Appreciate you. I know I have the feeling that we've created a good friendship here today on Living the Dream, and it's going to continue to grow. So if you ever need anything, I'm here for you. And make sure you guys go become a member at LA Taco. $10 is what I'm going to do, but pay the $30 and become a member. And just keep on going. And ask for the hat. Ask for Memo's hat. He'll give it to you for real. He'll give you a hat.
This is members only. If you're a monthly member, then you get the hat. You can't buy this hat.
Ooh, you can't buy that. See, so don't be cheap.
If you see somebody with this hat out there, they're a fucking proud LA Taco member. And
all right. Hey, do you golf?
Yeah, I do.
You
I
do?
haven't in a while, but yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
you want to go golfing?
Yeah, because I'm a man of the people. I'm like the most famous Mexican influencer golfer. I just gave myself that title. So we will go golf. If you're a country club kind of guy, like your Loyola friends, well, don't go with me.
No, I'm not a country club guy.
But all your friends are. They're all members. Like all the friends you guys who went to high school are members, like at Riviera or stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah, I don't go golfing with them.
No. What you're gonna do is borrow their clubs, so you can go with me to Monterey Park. We'll go to Pico. We'll go to Griffith Park, wherever where we can go and get loaded, bro. So we'll have a taco fest, beer fest, golf fest, and we'll do all kinds of other stuff. Memo, we'll talk to you soon. Sounds
good, man.
No, wait, what you?
I was gonna say that. Does your son golf too? My son loves to golf.
My kid, I have him busy. We go to the range. That's part of the reason why I started doing the pandemic. Is like, okay, what can you do with the kids to keep them occupied? So my daughter likes going to the range. She doesn't want to play. My son goes, but he's busy doing a bunch of other stuff. So he's a basketball guy too. So we'll figure things out. But he goes. He's left-handed, but I make him golf right-handed. I went today with Alicia Del Valle today, our good friend from TV. Last minute, we were supposed to play this morning, but then it rained. And then I dropped off my son at school, and I was like, I don't want to go back home. So I was like, I called everybody who I know lives within 10 miles of Pico. And I was like, hey, who's showing up? And all of a sudden people are like, oh, are you still there? I'm like, yeah, I'm the mayor, bro. No, the mayor of everywhere. So we'll be all right. So people showed up, and it was good. We had a good time. So we'll definitely do it. Glad you went to Berkeley. Go Cal Bears. I have my Berkeley hoodie somewhere. I'll wear that next time, and we'll be all right. So, Memo, appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon, man.
Gracias, Beto, y salud.